Hey, everybody. I have a couple special guests here today. They are the Mountain Mamas, the Mountain Mamas new TV show on HGTV. And Jackie actually happens to be a really good friend of mine. You want to explain to everybody how we met?
Gosh, yeah. Did we meet in a bar?
We met in a bar.
Right?
Actually,
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, we met years ago.
I think I met your husband first.
Yeah.
And then you came over and joined us. And then I think we spent the whole night together, didn't we?
I think you slept on the floor of my apartment.
I think I did.
That's where all the best relationships start. You guys really, you don't need Twitter, Tinder. I mean, Twitter. I'm so old. I do that. Really just go down to your local bar.
Yeah, then we went up for breakfast the next morning. That was really cool. That was awesome.
It was. So that was before I had kids. I think Jay and I were married. So we were living in the condo. So that had to have been like 2010-ish. Does that sound about right?
I don't know.
Might have been even before that, like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And you were going through a lot of changes at that point too. And then we kind of lost track and you popped up on my like Instagram added and I'm like, holy cow. And then I kind of got sucked into watching your readings and just kind of listening to everything you're doing. And it's like you said, it's weird how stuff will resonate with you when it's kind of meant for you, right?
Yeah, so you were saying that you watched one of my collective videos and you just got chills or something and you were about to have
you did one of the card readings and there was like she's a rising star and you said literally this means that the divine feminine. I'll fill you in all the stuff.
all the terms. She's like,
I only learned that from watching her. I didn't know what any of this stuff was. And then I was like, what is this? But it's literally a rising star, like becoming a celebrity in their own right or something like that. And I thought, boy, that's really weird. And like, I didn't know if you really knew what was going on at that point in my life yet either. So it was just kind of interesting. And then I kind of was like, okay, so I kind of, like a background hover, I'd work out and listen to my treadmill.
Oh yeah, that was Jason's now a producer.
We produced a radio show, called Live from the Divide, where we bring in songwriters from all over the country, really. And we have a studio in Bozeman called Live from the Divide. So yeah, it's kind of fun.
Hey, and you couldn't be in better hands than with Jason. He's a really awesome guy.
He's a sweetheart.
We call him our manager.
Yeah, our dadager, actually.
Yeah, he's like that. Okay, so how did all this start? Like, what?
Well, it was funny because we were both on the same path at the same time, but we hadn't met each other.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it was really. I don't even know how to describe it. It was really cool, obviously, but it was like immediate too.
Yeah.
Like when we met each other, it was like, okay. So it was kind of like this, and it was like this way, which is super cool. So we had both were realtors in town, and we had both been asked to do a show called Living Big Sky on HGTV. Cool. And then through that, we met randomly because I knew some of the guys that she was filming with.
We literally met while I was on a shoot, which is so weird. So she had done a few episodes. They kept asking us both to come back and do more episodes. So we're shooting at like a local Rotary Club like fundraiser that she was working at, and my cameraman goes, have you met Tracy? She's amazing. I feel like you guys would be best friends. And like literally we met best friends. I moved real estate offices like the next week so that we could like work together because we just hit it off. And then let me decline the call really quick. We back, hold on, there we go. So then when the network and the company we had been working with found out we were like working together, they were like, oh, we're going to pitch a show with the two of you, blah, blah, blah. Everything just kind of snowballed. Mm-hmm. We ended up working with a Montana company instead of one out of Colorado when all was said and done.
Colorado?
Yeah. They're I know, Dorsey Pictures. They used to be called Orion Productions.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't know.
Might be a sore spot for Orion. Long story there. But now we work with a Montana company that's just great, and it's worked out really well for us. So yeah, it was this long, like 4-year path to now we have this show that just came out, and it's getting moved around on the schedule right now, we've been told. So to a better day and time. they promise us, but we'll see. So yeah.
So how did you do the pilot? Or did you even pitch a pilot, or you just went straight into it, or like?
It was wild. They did a sizzle first, which is like all these steps you have to go through that her and I don't even know about. Like
at this point,
you know. And so we did this sizzle, which is kind of like a trailer, I guess, is what I would call it. And we are literally like just randomly walking around like to different places. And I guess the thing that resonated with everyone is Montana definitely is a character. Everybody loves Montana and watching things about Montana, but Jackie's hilarious.
Oh, shush. She's funny.
So it was like, basically what I tell everybody is Jackie being funny and me laughing at Jackie. So that's basically what the show is.
And you being smart and quick-witted also and funny. Whatever.
So, and poop. Usually we talk about poop comes up and everybody thinks that's funny.
Mouse poop, bear poop. We're renovating houses in the mountains. You see it all.
Yep.
So we do real estate and renovation in the show. So to give you some perspective.
Well, what's the show about other than poop? Some of our audience has not seen the show.
And they might not now.
They're like, I don't know about this.
But from the sizzle, then they asked if we would do a pilot.
Okay.
And so every stage was so exciting and scary and all of those things. But so then you do a pilot. And well, okay, so after you do
what
sizzle,
was the pilot like? Like, did you the pilot go to?
The pilot was like a lot longer. It almost took us as long to do the whole pilot as it did to do like 4 of our renovations. It just took. We were there from the very, very beginning, and it was a whole transformation.
Yeah, on this house. So we filmed, like a complete renovation for the pilot, and then each process is like another like. Kind of running through the gauntlet, I guess you could say. Like, so you do your sizzle, then they present it at what they call like, I think green light or something. So when they presented our sizzle, they say, okay, go to pilot. And then when they film our pilot, they present it, and they said that on the day they showed our pilot, it got shown with like 74 other ones. Or was that the sizzle?
That was the sizzle.
Okay, the sizzle got shown with 74 other sizzles, and out of 74, 3 got picked to go to pilot. And then once you go to pilot, your percentage is about 10% of pilots make it to a whole season. And so we got through that hurdle. So it's like a lot of hurry up and wait. Mm-hmm. And it was this opportunity for us that just kept coming back to us. Like people are like, can we do this? Will you do this? So we're like, I guess we'll just keep saying yes. It happens. And here we are.
Yeah.
Talking to you.
Yeah.
Who saw the pilot and the sizzle? Like who are these inspectors behind the scenes looking? Who are the judges?
Executives at like HGTV or Crips, or now they're Discovery. They got bought out by Discovery in the middle of all this too, which was like a whole nother piece of the puzzle that we were lucky to make it through because they made a lot of changes. Mm-hmm. So they didn't axe us then. They kept us around.
And did they actually come out and do the filming of the pilot, or did you have to do that on your own and send it in?
Oh no, they film it all. We've got like full production crew. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And that happened with the sizzle part too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So they basically just kind of like took you through all the steps and stages.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We did 8 full renovations last year, and it wasn't even a full year. It was like March to January.
Oh my gosh.
They have our schedules. Like you know, there's no way we could do that without the production company.
Oh yeah. It's intense, but fun.
Mm-hmm. So you guys flip houses, or what do you do? You do renovations?
Renovations. It's not really flipping because I mean, like you flip some personally, like, and then, but this is more for people who have bought the houses and are going to stay in them, or they've owned their house, and they're gonna, and they look at other stuff and then decide to renovate what they have. So that's kind of the premise of the show. But it's really expensive, so you have to. It's hard to flip and make money. You have to really know what you're doing, but it's not as like easy as it is in some markets to do the flips.
Okay. Well, so what are some of the obstacles you guys have had to face in the filming of these?
Weather.
Oh yeah. Especially
one day it was -9.
Oh my gosh.
It was -9 degrees, and
you got to stand outside and do all your interviews. And I have the world's coldest hands and feet, anyways. I was like, "Is this worth it?"
We're like this, answering questions.
you know.
Boulder's not as bad. I mean, Colorado, I guess, is not as bad. I don't know if I'd ever go back to Bozeman because it was, I mean, it was winter forever, and the snow would never go away. You'd have to walk through feet of snow to get to your car and slipping and sliding everywhere you go forever. But
That's true.
in Colorado, it snows, but it melts right away. You know, going back and forth like that. So you at least get a little bit of a breather, and it's always sunny. So it's Bozeman is too. But
my poor next door neighbors are from Boulder, and I sold them the house next door to me in October, and we had like one of the longest, snowiest, coldest winters we've had last year. So they survived. We're going into winter number 2 for them now. But
oh man,
I was like, I swear, guys, and we live in a canyon, so we get way more snow. I'm like, it's snowy, but this isn't the norm. Don't hate me.
Yeah, it is brutal weather. So is there anything that you would like in all these interactions with all these executives and stuff, is there anything that you any words of advice for signing contracts or involving lawyers with any of that stuff? I
feel like for me, if I was going to tell myself a couple years ago, is just to kind of relax and have fun.
Okay.
Because so much of it, all you can do is be yourself. And then the rest of it's kind of out of your control.
Yep.
And so if you just like live in the moment and enjoy every day instead of I've been worrying now for like 2 years. I mean, look at me. So it's just like, but it's so out of my control. It's just kind of wasted energy. So that's what I would tell somebody, is just have fun.
It is good advice.
Yeah, I think that's, yes.
And
yeah,
as far as contrast,
yeah.
Our production company hooked us up with really great agents out of LA who negotiate contracts specifically for like reality television with the networks all the time. So they know what you can usually get changed, what you can't. And that saved us a ton of money just by getting a good agent who went to bat for us and knew what to look for. So definitely make sure somebody's reviewing whatever you sign off on, because there's a lot of things that can limit you to, like, non-competes if things don't work out for a certain time frame, things like that. So just review contracts and enjoy and just enjoy what it is, because it's an opportunity that most people won't get. It's rare, and just make the most of it. Did
you pick your own agent, or you said they picked it for you?
Our production company had one that they had worked with quite a bit, who handles a lot of like other reality. I feel like I can't even call myself like a star celebrity. other TV personalities who have been in the business a long time and are doing really well. And so we felt comfortable going to them, knowing who else they represent.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so agents. What else could we? How has it been like, even emotionally adapting to all this attention and everything?
Well, we're both real estate agents and have young kids. And so it's an emotional roller coaster, because we know in the end that it'll be really good for our business, but it's also super time consuming.
Yeah.
And so just to find a balance, I feel like has emotionally been the tug. And so Jackie and I eventually teamed up, and now we have some assistants, which is something I probably wouldn't have done if it wouldn't have been Jackie.
Likewise, I can't imagine anybody else I'd work with like as closely as we do.
So we've kind of given up some of the control and so that we can have more time with our kids. And so it's all just like, it's so exciting. And then you get into it and it's so much work.
Yeah.
You have to.
A really good point you just made about you wouldn't have done it, because 2 years ago, I had like the busiest real estate year of my life, and I had no help, nothing. And I just was like completely overwhelmed all the time. I had nothing left mentally to give my family, my husband, my friends, anything. And had we not prepared for having to film and not physically be available to do things, we wouldn't have built the team around us to help us, and been forced to create a situation where we could let go of some control and create time for ourselves. So I guess having more of your time taken away by filming actually gave us more time back with our family in a way, because it forced us to like make some changes within our business, because real estate basically sucked the life out of you.
I mean, I've known some realtors. So
that's been kind of like a cool accidental like thing that's happened. Don't you think?
Yeah, to just readjust your priorities.
Yeah.
But it is about trusting who you work with and sharing that same energy. And so for me, that's the biggest part of this whole thing, is that Jackie and I got to create this, you know, our own little world.
Yeah.
And make sure that our families and ourselves and, you know.
Yeah. Because it is important at the end of the day, is making sure, like, for we both love our husbands, but then our kids, of course. Like, I just want my kids to always feel like they get enough of us. And that can be hard when you're being pulled 6 ways all the time, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine. Has this gotten you more business doing the show?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Like daily, we get new leads from it. So.
Oh, good. What about, like, do you walk around and people ask you for your autograph and stuff?
Not yet.
It still makes me laugh. No, the funniest thing that happens to me is people be like looking at me like, how do I know you? You know, and it can be a little uncomfortable. I'm like,
It happened to me at one of Jason's concerts last week. This girl's like, I gotta get a selfie with you for my daughter. We want to I'm like, well, this is the first. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Weird. It's be normal. And I think like so far it hasn't been bad or overwhelming. But for me, my biggest concerns, I guess, about that part of it is like privacy of my kids and just like I get nervous about like weird people reaching out like through social media, and I just don't want that to consume me. I don't want to read comments. I just like sort of don't want to deal with that part of it. Like I worry a little bit about that. That's probably like, because I don't want anything to like compromise the family kind of and like our privacy, I guess. So that's for me mentally been the one thing I've been most probably worried about, I would say. Because there's, totally. There's weird people out there. I might be one of them.
How is Jason handling all of this?
He's actually been really good. He had the same concerns for sure. That was like sort of like our biggest like family like talk. Like what changes do we need to make sure, you know, we've got a buffer around this. But now for him, he's like, I feel like it's motivated him a lot because he's seen how hard we've worked, and he's been working really hard on his own business too. But he's like, seeing you guys on TV when it actually aired, he's like, it was so motivating and so cool to see like all that hard work we've done come to fruition. He's like, it's motivated him to like make some big changes in his own business and his own life, like personally, you know, spiritually, emotionally, everything, to just, you know, get there too, because he's supported us and I've supported him. But it's like, I feel like it's also time for his stuff to springboard, and he is like ready to take the bull by the horns, because he's like, anything's possible apparently. So, yeah.
Does he ever get jealous and worried about the guys like starting to swarm in?
You know, Jason is truly one of those people that really does not have a jealous streak in him. I mean, it probably would be there if it was threatened, like it would probably come out a little bit, but he just by nature isn't very jealous. He just knows that I sometimes am too nice, I'm too talkative. So he's like, if you get those people that want to infiltrate, he's like, you have to learn to have boundaries.
Yes.
Which is hard for me. So that's more where his like concern is, not like I'm gonna get jealous. He's like, just don't let people suck every ounce of your energy out of you, or like keep the boundaries up when you need to, you know. And I'm always so worried about being perceived as an asshole if I do that, but he's like, you have to. So, have to, you know. Yeah.
Keep watching my talks about life. You'll learn a lot about boundaries.
I know.
I've had to learn them myself.
For real.
So are you guys getting fan mail yet or anything like that? I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you get messages? Like, we get them on our...
Yeah, like, I love it when they're from, like, other women, you know? Like, that was so fun and everything. We've had a couple creepy phone calls. I'll be like, this weird guy called me, and he's like, he's
calling me right now. Like, this happened the other day. I'm like, no. We're just going to delete, you know?
I feel like it's just more like, for me, it's so fun. Like, the people I went to high school with that I haven't talked to in forever, and like, it's so fun for the interact and be like, it's so great. Like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, for me, that brings back a whole bunch of like closure I needed in different areas, you know?
Totally.
So that's fun for me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My mom said she ran into this gal from my hometown, and she's like, we've been watching Jackie's show. She's like, it's crazy. It's so weird to like watch her because we all grew up around her and like we know her, and then like just see her on TV. It's so weird. It's awesome, you know? It wasn't fun. And Tracy and I always talk too. We were like, we were bullied. Both of us were like in middle school.
Really?
Mostly middle school for me, you in high school.
High school was really
I was too. I was in junior high.
Too. And so there's that little bit of like, you know, kind of like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's more like when you're bullied like that, or at least for me, you feel like you have to prove yourself to people, and all these weird emotions go on, especially for women, I feel like. And so for me, it's kind of like you know what, I am kind of cool, asshole.
She is pretty cool. I'll give her that.
But I don't know, it's something like that, like coming into your own and being able to be yourself.
Yeah.
Even with the camera crew around you, that's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
And freeing.
That's right.
It is free. I know. And it is like, they truly, like our production crew truly lets us be us. And they don't really like filter us all that much. Like if you watch the show, that's how we are. And so that's kind of fun to see. It's like they didn't make us into something we're not. So I've always thought stuff all along, they're either gonna like ratings wise, network, they're either gonna like us or they're not. At least what the final outcome of the show was, like when we watch it, that's us. So I feel like we're fairly represented, and it's either gonna work or it's not, you know. So
wow, you guys been blessed. That's incredible that you can just totally be yourself that way. And I think I mean keep that. Don't ever give that up, no matter how big you become.
Don't worry.
Stay grounded.
That's my other biggest fear.
Yeah.
Remember, I don't ever want to have a huge ego. It's not our style. So.
You know, it's like when you're bullied, those bullies, they actually feel powerless and they're threatened by you. That's why they do it. So they knew you guys had something special. And
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could tell all the girls out there that are bullied. It took me a very long time to get over that. I like those in my 30s, to be honest. And so it is, once you kind of realize that and heal that part of you, you can really be yourself. And so then you won't ever give it away, though, which is so cool because I'm not willing to give that away again. You know?
Okay. See, it was all for it was all for your benefit. You know, everything in life, no matter how bad it is always there to actually make you stronger, bigger, bolder, better. So
yeah, I could say that through like the first 10 years of like my marriage, like just financially, we just had like so much stress on us. And like Jay and I both say it's a miracle we're still married, but where we are now, if we didn't go through all of those, like, I mean, like literally I tell Tracy this and she was in the same boat. When I got my real estate license, I had $9 in my bank account. We were out of diapers for Nash and I had to call my mom for like $10 of gas money. And my parents were broke too because it was in the downturn. Like, and then so to like now be where we have all these amazing opportunities in front of us, I can say that I don't know that I would truly appreciate how awesome this is or how special it is had I not literally just eaten shit for 10 years. I go back talking about it's true, you know? Like, everything makes you stronger, makes you more appreciative. And so when you're like really trudging through it, just know it can get better. It does get better. You just have to like just keep on keeping on. Even when it's hard times. So
yeah, I mean, life either breaks you or makes you stronger. So
yeah,
it can be hard if you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. It can be devastating. And stuck in that.
Grateful. I think that's the biggest thing you learn.
Yeah.
Grateful for what you have right now.
Yes.
Even if it's $10 in the bank. You know, like just be grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yep. Completely, totally agree. Well, thank you guys so much. And unless there's anything else you can think of to offer anyone who's going to be doing something like this themselves, or I think we've just about covered it.
Yeah.
Including staying real
and be real. Be yourself. You know, feels good to finally, like you said, after when you hit your 30s, it's like, oh, this is me. Yeah. Sorry. You know?
Yes.
I just need to get over needing other people's approval a little bit more. Like,
better.
My life coach over here. Yeah, getting there.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. It's good.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and talking to me about this and helping everybody out. Yay. All right. Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Amy. Bye.
Bye.